Hey everyone, I hope you're doing good. Welcome to the Single Parents Forum. In this group, we talk about single parents and children raised by single parents. And today we are blessed with a story from one of our viewers who was raised by a single parent. This story is very captivating. It literally kept me on my chair as I read it. It's heartbreaking. It's touching. It's a real life experience. It happened to someone. It happened to her. She says, I am a 42-year-old and a mother of a 15-year-old son. I had 3 siblings, although the youngest succumbed to HIV way back in 1995. We were 4 children, 3 girls, and the boy being the last boy who died. Our mom was a single parent and each of us had a different dad. Myself, I never got to know my dad. My other siblings had their own stories about their fathers. Our stepdad, who fathered our last born, died in 1993. Our mother died in 1994. They had contracted HIV. They left us just like that. I was the eldest child of my mother. When mom died, there was hardly anybody around us. I remember nursing my mother with the help of some neighbors who sometimes did not come. There was this mom's friend who always dropped medicine and food items, but she seemed to fear being around mom and would walk away immediately. She would never sit or wait. Mom had a very bad rash on the body and diarrhea could not stop. It was a hard time attending to mom being a child. The house could stink and the neighbors shifted. It was not a situation that a child could bear. Before mom died on the fateful day, she called me in a low tone and said, "Don't leave your siblings. Take care of them." Then her eyes went dim as she held my hand tightly. I suspected that she had died because other children used to tell me that my mother was going to die each time we played together. Mom was so thin that you could only see her head on the bed. The whole body was eaten up by the virus. There were no ARVs by then. There used to be an old woman staying a few meters away from home. I went and told her that my mother looked dead. She came and confirmed her death. She called other people from the nearby homes and a few people gathered. The body was then taken for burial in the village in a lorry that was organized by the men from the community. By then, we were staying at the district municipal quarters where mom used to work. They packed our everything in a lorry, and I wondered what next because it was already clear that life was going to be tough ahead. After the burial, my sister who followed me was taken by her dad. The same thing to her follower. She was also picked up by her uncle, who was a brother to her father. I remained with my youngest brother, who was also sickly. He died months after mom's burial. My sisters both went to better families and were enrolled in good schools in the capital. My uncle from mom's side used to follow up on them, although he was merely a farmer who could not afford bus fare to Kampala, the capital city, regularly. He eventually lost contact with them. After the burial of my little brother in the village, a distant relative of mine came and took me to the town where we were previously staying. I really wondered why my mother lived in isolation, that she did not properly introduce us to the people who should have been close to us. Although this man called himself my uncle, he lived alone in his house and he started abusing me sexually every night. I was only 15 years by then. I remember getting pregnant at 16 and how he took me to an old woman in a certain village who used a ladle to carry out an abortion on me. I can't really remember what happened, but I got myself in a hospital. I had blacked out. This was a hospital I could call a clinic local in the village. These people could not treat me. I was then taken back home, where my uncle treated me with herbs. Good thing that I recovered. I had nobody to protect or help me. I was going to die, but then the herbs helped me. This uncle had put me back to school in senior 1, and I went to a day school only to come back every day to meet his section needs. One day, a woman at the neighborhood stopped me as I went to fetch water and asked me how my uncle was treating me. I think, being an adult, she was able to know or read that I was a child who was not happy. With bitterness in my eyes and with suffering as my daily bread, I couldn't say a thing, but tears rolled down my eyes. She kept asking questions until I had to open up to her and share my story. She asked me if I wanted to leave this house. She could help me. I didn't know where to go, and I was afraid of suffering wherever she was taking me. But as days went by, she continued asking, and I told her I was comfortable moving to wherever she would take me. This story is quite long. I will call this part 1 of it, and we will continue in the next one. Please stay tuned, and if you are watching us for the first time, this is a new channel that we are building. I'm encouraging you to subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you very much.